We are about to leave for Mexico, and here's everything that we've packed in our dry food pantry for the next month. So come on, it'll be fun, let's go. Welcome to the Troopy. And for next month, we'll be traveling in our beautiful rolling home in Baja, and it's gonna be fantastic. This is almost everything that we've packed in our dry food pantry, things that like we wanted to take with us, things that you can't buy Mexico side. And you know, a lot of that is a lot of Asian food because, well, come on, I'm Asian. And we're gonna go through everything here and give its reasoning and rationality. And also, what you won't see here in this pile right now is fresh ingredients like fresh vegetables, fresh meat, milk, things like that, because Mexico doesn't allow for bringing fresh stuff over from the United States into Mexico. So we're gonna buy all of that in Mexico when we're in Baja. The groceries is gonna be cheaper, so might as well. The produce is gonna be better, so it's gonna be great. All right, so let's start with the fun stuff. This is not quite the fun stuff, but it's all like the carbs and things like that. We got rice paper here. We were at this beach last year, and you know, beaches in Baja, they give you, people come by and they have fresh seafood and things like that for you to buy whenever you want, whenever they come by. And we bought this fish from this food vendor that just came by and sold fish out of his trunk off a beach. And we made beautiful, beautiful Vietnamese dill turmeric spring rolls out of it. And so we're doing it again. We got spring rolls. These are the noodles I use for the spring rolls. They're called bánh hỏi noodles. And I use them because, one, they take like a minute to be cooked, and the water usage is very, very low with this as well to get them soft and good. Here we have peeled mung beans, or đậu xanh. What I could do with this is I could do many, many things. I could make chè, which is a Vietnamese sweet dessert. I joke around with people, our friends, and I say that it's a dessert soup. So it's usually warm, or it could be chilled, but I make it warm just because it's easier, especially in here. This is way easier. So this, like, you know, there's like 20 minutes of pre-soaking, and then it just cooks for another like 15 minutes and gets soft, and it gets awesome. So yeah, love that stuff. Always got to have pasta, of course. And then we have sun-dried tomatoes here. This is a house, basically, of all flavor enhancers. I cook in a way that I just basically use flavor enhancers all the time, and umamis and things like that. And sun-dried tomatoes is a huge, huge umami bomb. And it's a flavor enhancer of natural MSG, basically. And you know, make these into salads, make these into, I can make pastas with this, whatever. There's a, you know, dressings, whatever, right? So we got that. And then right here, we have these Hawaiian fruit paste that we bought from Hawaii. This one is passion fruit, orange, and guava. And we have lilikoi passion fruit. And what we do with our friends is we do this thing called Fancy Feast, where it's like cheese on board and meats and stuff like that. And these would be perfect for what we call Fancy Feast. Gotta have the emergency stuff. So we have Annie's shells and aged cheddar. This is our favorite kind of like quick, you know, lazy meal things. And it's crazy because these things are fortified with 9 grams of protein. So yeah, pretty awesome. Trader Joe's cream tomato soup, another lazy meal. You know, make this and grilled cheese sandwiches, done and done. Ritz's, let me tell you about Ritz's. Ritz's cannot be replicated. You could buy replicas of Ritz's, but they would never, ever, ever, ever taste like Ritz's. Ritz tastes like Ritz because it's a Ritz. It's something about their you know, their recipe. You could add extra butter. They could add, you know, all kinds of fake plastics, whatever. It's fucking delicious. Ritz's are unreplaceable. Never ever buy the fake ones. And these are for Fancy Feast. These are for, like, we can do tuna salad lunches with them. We can do chicken salad lunches with them, egg salad lunches with them, whatever. This is versatile, right? This is really versatile. We have this Genmai matcha stuff. It's a loose leaf tea, and it's matcha with roasted rice. And we love this stuff. It's really, really good. Another lazy meal thing is protein powder. Yeah, so that's just another option for us, and it's vanilla, so we can make shakes or whatever we want with it, so we could add flavors to it. Drinks-wise, LaCroix is kind of hard to come by until you get to the very, very bottom of Baja, towards Cabo. And there's this place called La Comer in Cabo, and they have stocked with pretty much everything you ever want. But until you get to that point in Baja, there's not much options for LaCroix. So you're mostly Topo Chicoing basically from the border all the way down to Cabo. Topo Chico, A+++. But for now, I love LaCroix, and this is a small pack. And then we also have Spindrift here, and this is the passion fruit orange flavor, which is called Pog, and we are huge fans of Hawaii. So Pog is a natural thing for us. We love Pog, we love this flavor. These two things are gonna go pretty quickly. And then also, you can get Haribo's in Mexico, but not, this bag is gonna last us about 2 to 3 weeks. Now over here, we have peanut butter chocolate cups. We have 2 of these. We're gonna give 1 to our friends. These are just like after dinner dessert stuff, after food dessert stuff, get a couple extra calories in there and things like that. Pita crackers, another thing. Hummus, dips, fancy feast, same thing. We have Chinese sausages because I could make these with eggs. I could do a lot of things like this, and this is a very nostalgic flavor. This version of Chinese sausage makes me really sad though. They don't have MSG in these anymore, which is makes me really sad. But I still love this brand. I like the flavor. There's no MSG in them, but I still buy it because I grew up with this brand. I'm a little sad about these. I'm still trying to find a replacement for this. So if you have one that you recommend, put in the comment below, let me know, because these are still good, but because they don't have MSG and because they cater to the white American folk, it's just not quite as good as what I grew up with. But they do, down in Baja, this goes a trillion million miles. Kewpie mayo, can't go wrong with this. This is my mayo of choice, MSG flavored, packed with MSG, love it. This is called Chupacabra rub seasoning. This is kind of an all-around seasoning that we use. It's called Chupacabra rub. It's Mexican flavored slightly, but it's more like Tex-Mexy, and we put it into, we season our refried beans with them. You could do meat rubs with them. You could do whatever you want with it. This is a general flavoring thing. So like if you wanted like any vegetables, roasted vegetables, you throw it on. This is just like a no fuss, all-purpose flavoring that we use pretty much all the time. Chupacabra rub, awesome. And they do have MSG version, but I don't have it with us because we have MSG. Next thing, kimchi. This is fresh kimchi. The first half of the trip, we're gonna be pretty remote. We're gonna be doing a lot of surf spots, things like that, away from groceries and stuff like that. Fresh kimchi is great right off the bat when it's fresh and you can eat it right away. But then as we get lower and lower south towards the end of Baja, the kimchi will start to age and it will sour up. And when it's like aged a little bit, like a couple weeks, it starts to get really, really sour. And it's awesome when you cook it in soups and stews and things like that. So kimchi, awesome. All right, more flavor enhancers. We have capers and olives. And then we get over here to our canned section. So we have garbanzo beans. You can buy these in Baja all day long, but we have them at home, so might as well just bring them. Garbanzo beans have a lot of versatility. We can make it into fritters, you can make it into salads, you can make it into whatever you really, really want. Chickpea salads with dill is awesome. But yeah, so we have 2 cans of chickpea, and then we have red bean or kidney beans. This is another versatile bean. We use this for salads like we normally do, or the other option is to make a Vietnamese jea, a Vietnamese dessert soup. This with some sugar and some ginger, simmer it for a couple minutes, like 10-15 minutes, then you have this awesome like desserty soup, and then we can make mochis and to go into it. It's a Japanese fusion between Japanese and a Vietnamese thing, but canned corn, can't go wrong. I love this with butter. And then tomato sauce, super versatile. I can buy pre-made marinara sauce. I think this canned tomato sauce is way more versatile. I could make my red sauce like I normally do, or I could make, if I run out of ketchup, I can make ketchup. And then I could also do like any kind of sauces with it. I can make chili, whatever. So this is super versatile. I love these things. When we travel, we sometimes travel with pre-made marinara sauce, or we just buy these cans and we make it ourselves. Marinara is so fast to make. Canned tuna, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. Make tuna salads. I make a Japanese version and I make the American white version. Both serve different purposes, flavor profiles. So we have 4 cans of these, and Karissa and I both will get 1 meal out of one of these cans. Of course, there's also Jif, which is peanut butter. This is what we prefer. We have jam to go with that. And then we have pickled ginger. We're going to Baja, which is filled with fish and lots of fish things, and you can even eat it with this when I make the Asian version, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah, can't go wrong with this. Awesome to have. Hoisin sauce. We bought this in Mexico last year, and it's just lasted, so it's still good. And I use this as hoisin sauce on its own, so I could make peanut sauces with it. Or oyster sauce is kind of like a one-hit type thing, and I don't travel with it. I make like a cheater version of oyster sauce, which is hoisin sauce and a splash of fish sauce, and it gives it kind of that like hoisin or like oyster sauce flavor. And yeah, so hoisin sauce is versatile. I love this stuff. Gotta have it. So yeah, gotta have this, right? Cream cheese. Enough said about that. Can't go wrong. These little coconuts. Coconut creams. I am a coconut cream cook. I am not a coconut milk cook. And I prefer these things because they're perfect size for just 2 to 4 people curries. I can make dessert soup out of Vietnamese dessert soup or chea with them. So there's a lot of versatility with this. And we have, next thing is, I'm a big fan of military history, and I watch a lot of stuff about submarines. And submarines, they make their own bread and pizza because it takes less space from scratch, right? So they pack flour, and then they make bread and their own pizzas on submarines because one, they have to feed the Navy the best food because these guys don't see the sun for months. But so the submarines get the best food, and so I kind of took that note, packing my own flour, making my own bread at camp. And because I need to make bread at camp, I have right here, yeast, right? So we have yeast. We're gonna make some bread. It's gonna be good. And then right here, we have, it looks like flour, but it's called botnep or glutinous rice flour. What we're gonna do with that is I can make mochis anytime. Glutinous rice flour, a little bit of water, a little bit of sugar, maybe a little bit of salt, roll them up into little doughy balls, throw them in boiling water, and you have mochis at camp, basically on demand. And it goes again with the dessert soup thing. So another thing is brown sugar. I have a lot of sugar actually. So over here I have, this is my sugar that I travel with. This should last us about a month. It goes quickly if I make fish sauce, things like that, like nick jam and stuff like that. So we'll see. So anyways, I have brown sugar for dessert soups. Yeah, bring it out. But I do have packed soft tofu. I make a brown sugar ginger syrup for the soft tofu. If you've ever had, soft tofu in Vietnam or soft tofu anywhere that's dessert, normally there's like a really sweet ginger syrup to go with it. I can make that at camp, right? So like, come on, guys. We eat well at camp, and it's all easy. So this is glutinous rice or sticky rice. We're gonna be in Mexico for Lunar New Year, and every Lunar New Year, usually we're in Baja, and so I make sticky rice with Chinese sausage and pork floss and stuff like that. So it gives it, it makes it feel a little special. Next we have inari. This is another quick and easy meal thing. So these are little strips of tofu skin that are soaked in this like almost teriyaki. It's like a lot lighter teriyaki, and you stuff rice into it, and it's just super easy. And each thing has, one piece is 2 grams, which is pretty good. 2 grams of protein. It's pretty good. And then next, Japanese curry. Can't go wrong with this stuff. Yeah, I miss this flavor a lot. So Japanese curry and marinara sauce go hand in hand to me on the 2 types of food that I miss the most when we're traveling. I love red sauce. Chicken parm might be one of my top favorite meals of all time. Anyways, this is my favorite brand. This is the best brand, in my opinion. Medium hot is basically a Taco Bell mild still. Yeah, Japanese don't really like too spicy, and when it says medium hot, it's not that spicy. Okay, rice. This is our rice for the month. This is quite a bit of rice. I'm not sure if we're gonna go through all this rice, but that's our rice. This is an Asian household, and rice, very important.